Hey Potterheads, welcome back to a fresh and new episode of Potterwatch. In this episode, we will talk about what Professor McGonagall is doing in Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. Let's do it. Let's roll the intro and hit the video. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald brought back beloved Harry Potter character Minerva McGonagall for a couple of scenes. The inclusion of young Minerva McGonagall in Fantastic Beasts 2, who's teaching at Hogwarts in 1927, and a flashback to the 1910 when Dumbledore was teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts. On the surface, this is a nice way to include a beloved character from the original franchise, but there's a huge Harry Potter timeline problem. In 1927, Minerva McGonagall hadn't even born yet.
Surprise, motherfucker!
In J.K. Rowling's original Pottermore biography, Minerva's date of birth was October 4, 1935, 8 years after the event of Fantastic Beasts 2. The entry was removed when Pottermore was revamped a few years ago, but the current entry still states that Minerva was a student under Dumbledore. Under the guidelines of her inspirational Transfiguration teacher, Albus Dumbledore, she had managed to become an animagus. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix also puts a date on Minerva's career as a Hogwarts teacher. She is asked by Dolores Umbridge how long she had been teaching at this school, and she replies 39 years this December. Given that the book is set in the mid-90s, that would place her starting her career in the mid-50s. So how exactly is it possible that Professor McGonagall was running around Hogwarts telling off students in the early 20th century if she was born in 1935 and started teaching there in 1950s? There's only two possibilities. First, the time turners, and second, McGonagall isn't Minerva at all, but a relative of her. So let's first talk about the second possibility. This would go a long way to explaining the presence of a McGonagall nearly a decade before Minerva's birth, but that's not what it is going on. The published screenplay confirms that this is indeed Minerva herself. On top of that, Minerva's father, who gave her the McGonagall's name, was a Muggle, so it's not as though there is a large visiting family with the same name. Her mother's name was also Isabel, so this isn't a situation where mother and daughter could be confused. This is a retcon of Professor McGonagall's age, plain and simple. Hers is not only the age that is twisted either. Dumbledore is meant to be in his 80s at the time of Fantastic Beasts, having been 150 at the time of his death. Yet Jude Law is a stunningly attractive young Dumbledore in a suit, which meant that wizards also forget how to wear Muggle clothes somewhere between 20s and 90s. But that's a whole other plot point. So now we know that McGonagall is the Minerva. That brings us back to our first possibility, the time turners. Unfortunately, it's not that simple too. Time travel does exist in the Harry Potter universe, of course thanks to the time turners, but these do not allow people to wander back in time and take up teaching posts. There's an article and thoughts of J.K. Rowling on time turner in Pottermore, which will tell you how dangerous using time turners can be. All attempts to travel back further than a few hours have resulted in catastrophic harm to the witch and wizard involved. It was not realized for many years why time travelers over great distance never survived their journeys. Eloise Mintumble became trapped for a period of 5 days in the year of 1402. Now we understand that her body had aged 5 centuries in its return to the present and irreparably damaged. She died in St. Mungo's Hospital. 25 of their descendants vanished in the present, having been unborn. You still want to use time turners? And don't give me that cursed child bullshit in comment section. Now let's look at her thoughts. I went far too light-heartedly into the subject of time travel in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It opened up a vast number of problems for me, because after all, if wizards could go back and undo problems, where were my future plots? I solved the problem to my own satisfaction in stages. Firstly, I had Dumbledore and Hermione emphasize how dangerous it would be to be seen in the past, to remind reader that there might be unforeseen and dangerous consequences as well as solutions in the time travel. Thirdly, I smashed all the remaining time turners during the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, removing the possibility of reliving even short periods in the future. This is just one example of the way in which, when writing fantasy novels, one must be careful what one invents. For every benefit, there is a drawback. So after all the troubles and plot-killing danger, why would J.K. Rowling will go again with the time turners? Instead, I think it's an attempt to bring back a fan-favorite character into a few scenes in order to pander to fans of the original franchise. Anyway, I will give the link of the article in the description on Time Turner. Hopefully Fantastic Beasts 3 shed some light on the matter. With that said, it's time to end the video. Well, that's it from this video, guys. Meet you in the next video. Till then, keep liking, keep subscribing. Stay safe. Bye bye, guys.